coming up on Pilot News. If you feel as though you've missed out on the last 2 weeks of print news, we've got it for you. Tune in at 1:15 to get reactions from student elections, a feature on Dr. Follis' retirement, and what's been going on during the weekends. All this and more when we come back live at 1:15.
Right now, the president is in New York, meetings at the United Nations. We're watching the hearings.
This is Pilot News, covering Principia College and beyond. On campus, off campus, news that affects our Principia community.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural broadcast
quarter,
of
but
Pilot
they're
News.
Campus news, sports, people, events. We go where the news is, bringing you fair and full coverage. From the Templin TV studio, this is your Pilot News.
Hello and welcome to our final winter quarter broadcast of PCTV Pilot News. I'm Jesse Sanders alongside David Bates. Josh Reisman has sports and Myrna Peters is here this week to host our new entertainment segment. Here are this week's top stories.
If you weren't hounded by existing student government members to vote, you were amongst the minority. Student government approached this past election for the Student Activities Board differently, with tenacity and enthusiasm to boost the percentages of student voter turnout. Were they successful? Elsa Pollack has the story.
You may have noticed more talk about this year's student government elections, which were hyped up by the current Student Activities Board. Student Body President James King and Student Body Vice President Kelly O'Connor took the reins on this year's elections and set up a unique online voting system where students could cast their vote. They also sat in the dining room at lunches and dinners, getting students to vote in hopes of increasing the student voter turnout. Well, their hard work paid off as the percentage of the student voter turnout doubled from last year's 30% to this year's high of 60%. What was also unique about this year's election was the tie for the presidency and vice presidency between Chrissy Sidness and Forrest Bless and Avery Poindexter and Tom Evans, which resulted in a runoff. The victors for the presidency and the vice presidency were announced the following week after additional grueling campaigning where the teams sent out voice messages, put up more flyers, and made video clips to promote their campaigns. On Wednesday, an all-campus message was sent out declaring Chrissy Sidness and Forrest Bless the new student body president and vice president. We caught up with the new student body president, Chrissy Sidness, who told us why she decided to run for her position.
Well, I've been Brooks House president for the past year, and I've really liked what Kelly and James have been doing in the student government. They've brought a lot of enthusiasm and energy to the whole project.
Forrest Bless, the new student body vice president, commented on the importance of the Student Activities Board, also known as SAB.
I'm just real excited to work with the students who are representing the student body here.
The results for the other student government positions were posted in the Friday's Pilot newspaper. Your new student body government members are Jesse Dunlap and Eric Lines, social heads, Paul Sander and Bethany Boyer-Recklin, meta heads, Gordon Douglas and Randy Frazier, intramural heads, Jenna Edgington and Gretchen Ruining, eco heads, Ebikiria Boro, diversity head, Ted Johnson, treasurer, and Christina Doherty, scholastic head.
It's no surprise that parking is a problem on campus. Whenever there are big conferences or sporting events, cars crowd the streets of our quaint campus. But is this becoming too big of a problem? One student says yes, judging by the damage done to her car. David explains more in this report.
Junior Rachel Franzak parks her forest green Nissan Maxima in the unpaved and unlined parking lot behind Rackham Court. But something happened during the night, and there was some damage to her car.
I came back down in daylight and noticed there were two very large dents in my car. one gash in the front driver's side, and on the driver's side and the passenger in the back, one really, really big dent that's dented in a large part of the door and chipped some of the paint and bent a lot of things. So my car got bashed into pretty well, and I'm pretty sure it happened in the Rackham parking lot.
Student body president James Keene says the parking situation on campus has come up in recent SAB meetings, and he says Fronzak's situation will not go unheard.
That kind of stuff is taken pretty seriously, and hopefully we'll see it, progress.
The problem, however, is finding money in order to pave the lot where Fronzak's car was hit, says Director of Facilities Steve Fulkerson.
The Rackham parking lot situation is one that we just don't have the funds for relative to other priorities on campus.
The troubled Voney parking lot has a little more hope. Fulkerson says an engineer is in the final stages of blueprints for it, and SAB has submitted this project as a proposed Funds for Excellence endeavor. This endowment is the same one that renovated the pub years ago and will soon bring stadium lights to the soccer field.
Student government recommended that parking lots in general, but also more specifically Voney and maybe Rackham, be put on the Funds for Excellence agenda for, I think, 2008 maybe, because it has to go that far in advance. But other than that, to the extent that's what we can do because we don't have the money to fund it.
The sooner the better, says Fronzak, whose car is a testament to how dangerous parking can be on campus.
I think especially in Rackham, they need to light the parking lots, they need to pave them, have more defined and clear parking spaces, just because it's so confusing and just unorganized. There's just so much potential for people to hit cars, hit other people, hit things, other impediments in this. So it's just not safe for the cars and not safe for the people.
Students who park back here behind Rackham say that this gravel and mud parking lot is too unsafe for them. And they strongly encourage the administration to review the parking situation here on campus and make some improvements. This is David Bates reporting for Pilot News. Hopefully all of you caught the dance team's Valentine's Day special. The first co-ed dance of the year was performed with style. Well, 80s style, on Valentine's Day night at the basketball game. Our Kayla Gillum met up with the dancers at one of their rehearsals.
Love was in the air at the men's basketball game this past Valentine's Day. Each woman on the dance team snatched up their very own man for the night. The dance team and their dates decked out in 80s gear to perform a co-ed dance for a Valentine's Day special. Sophomore Beth Bergstrom was glad the whole man competition was canceled so she could experience the thrill of seeing these men try to learn the dance.
Kelly and Jesse were supposed to teach the dance of the whole man competition, but then that got shut down, so then we had a guys dance that they didn't know what to do with, so we're doing it for Valentine's Day because it's really cute.
After just 2 practices, the men and women were ready to show off that perfect dance. Co-captain Kelly Wall expressed to me her views of the dance and how it is shaped up from a captain's point of view.
Basically, we just asked the girls to pick a partner, and we all taught them this dance. It's pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward, just so that we can get a hang of it, and it came together. And even though we're still, working to get that perfect product, it's been a hard time working with so many people and so many positions, but it's just fun. That's all we're trying to do.
So how well did the men catch on? Compared to the girls, the men were a bit slow, but eventually they all got it. Some men caught on faster than others, but they all had a fabulous time learning. Ted Tonkin even found a possible future career because of this dance.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, I came out here not liking this, and then I participated, and I just can't get enough of it. I'm actually thinking of, coming out to be a dance teacher or something. It's just been a lot of fun.
With Love in the Air, Paula Abdul blaring and 80s attire taking over Hayfield House, the dance team and their partners sure did entertain the Valentine's Day crowd. For PC News, this has been Kayla Gillum.
Joining us again this week is our new entertainment anchor to give you the latest in arts and entertainment news on campus. This week, Myrna Peters is here to give us a recap of Howard House's annual winter formal, the Lazy Zipper performance, and Randall Williams. Myrna?
Thanks, Jessie. There were more stars on campus Saturday night than there were on the red carpet. Though the exact format varied from a traditional formal involving tuxedos and gowns, the dresses were lovely, the makeup subdued, the earrings dangling. Although the dress was formal, the mood at Howard House's winter dance was light and fun. Now, the formal was for those who wanted to dress up, but it was also for Howard's appreciation because they wanted to sit back and have a relaxing evening and look back at what they have accomplished. The ladies first attended an all-female dinner and were then accompanied by their specially hand-picked dates for dessert and a dance in the basement. Howard residents transformed the dorm into a prom-like atmosphere. There were decorations at the entrance and music played in front of the dance floor, decorated with colorful lights. With a VIP pass for the whole night, the ladies of Howard enjoyed their night filled with glitz and glamour as they glided across the floor dancing to hip-hop, reggae, and country. Now the event brought together a unique group of students. A lot of laughs could be heard from Wanamaker Hall a few weekends back as the Lazy Zipper Club put on its annual show. This year's title, Christ on Ice, featured rehearsed comedy sketches and entertaining improv games. It all took place last Thursday through Saturday with a cast that has been rehearsing all quarter. Some of the sketches included parodies on how Prince students are obsessed with Facebook and what the implication is of a guy wearing a bracelet around campus. One of the highlights had to have been when cast member Jack Dearborn dressed up in a brown furry costume and surprised a pair of slack-jawed yokels who were hunting armadillos. Not only were the shows entertaining, but also audiences were laughing for a good cause. The annual show acts as the Lazy Zipper Club's fundraiser. In the past, they have used the money to buy props and travel to Chicago to see professional improv comedy. Although the club is technically finished for this season, director Ryan Rainey says he hopes this cast could get together one last time this quarter and do an improv show in the pub or out of bounds. Taking a break from their international tour, Randall Williams and Rowan Israel made a pit stop at the pub a few weeks ago and gave us a taste of their diverse acoustic sound through an intimate concert after the show. I jumped at the opportunity to talk with and meet Randall and Rowan. Several students gathered at the pub to meet and talk with independent artists Randall Williams and Rowan Israel, who brought their unique world tour to Principia. Answering on behalf of their partnership, Rowan says that
it's like when we get to play music together, it pushes us both up. Yeah. And he is the one who's just like so inventive. Right. And so he's taught me and also helped me to step out of the box and go, well, heck yeah! You know?
Since graduating in 1996, Randall has been touring internationally.
The day I graduated from Principia, I took off my cap and gown and I got on a plane. Okay. I kid you not.
Where did you go?
Well, first I went to Japan, and then I went to Belgium, and then I went to Sweden, and then from Sweden I went to North Africa.
Sharing the benefits of being a traveling musician, Randall states that
when you come back to the States, you're a singer-songwriter like everybody else, but because you've been different places in the world, you've got a real different perspective on what's happening now. And that's something that I've really appreciated, and frankly, that's something that I appreciated about Print as well.
Their acoustic sound covers anywhere from John Denver, Paul Simon to Tracy Chapman, REM, and songs in French, German, Spanish, Estonian, and Japanese. Now, speaking about the albums they currently have out, Randall says that
well, this is my fourth that I'm putting out now. I've got Travel Songs that's come out, and then I've got another one. This is Brave New World, and I've got an Irish CD called How Can I Keep From Singing, right. And then another CD, which is the fourth, is called First Takes, and it's in the mail to me today.
Elaborating on Brave New World, Rowan shares her views about the album.
I think that all of us grow up with certain expectations about how relationships are going to be and how families are going to be and how life is going to be and how our jobs, you know, how it's all going to go. Yeah. And it doesn't always work that way. You know, there's that John Lennon misquote, you know, life is what happens while you're out making plans. And if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans for the day. You know.
You can pick all of their music up along with free downloads and samples at where'srandall.com. Now, in case you are looking for where Randall is, just check.
Behind my steering wheel.
Is that a
I kid you not,
it's
behind my steering wheel. One of these days I'm going to grow up and get a house, but for the moment, I tour full time.
For PCTV, this is Myrna Peters.
Up next, Josh Reisman is here with the Sports Report. He's going to tell us about this year's tennis team and give us the scoop on a talented freshman athlete. All of this coming up after the commercial break.
Atmosphere on campus getting you down. Need to get away? Need someplace close? You need to get beyond the bubble. Beyond the Bubble is a quick 5-minute drive from Print. With small pastries, caffeinated and decaffeinated drinks, bubble tea, and a quiet area to study, Beyond the Bubble is a safe haven for a quick escape from the madness.
Pilot News, brought to you 3 times a quarter. Student reported, student filmed, student edited. This is your Pilot News. Broadcast live on Wednesday and aired again on Friday in the concourse during the lunch hour. We cover Principia and beyond, bringing you news, features, sports, and entertainment.
Pilot News, yeah!
So, I got like 3 meals in the scramble room, and then I hit up the pub for chicken strips, cheese fries, a mocha frap, cheeseburger, and 3 shakes. I even went back for a Milky Way and a Twix bar. God, I feel so fat. But hey, it's not my meal card.
From identity theft to cyber terrorism, PAC 2006 impacts you. Register on PrinWeb today.
We have a female student athlete here on campus who is dominating the stats. Not only is she a killer volleyball player, her talents on the basketball court are no miss. I had the chance to interview Christina Spear and find out a little bit more about this star on the rise. Christina Spear isn't your typical freshman. If you went down to any of the volleyball games, you would have taken notice of her standing tall above the other players at 6'2". She uses her height in volleyball to get kills and blocks. She led the volleyball team in kills with over 500 and also led the team in blocks. But it isn't her height alone that makes her such a great athlete.
I just love being here on campus, and I think I really made the right decision coming here versus other places that I had opportunity to go to.
In basketball, she led the team in total rebounds, points, steals, and in field goal percentage. Of the 23 total games, Christina led the team's point total 19 times, and the rebound total 15 times. Even though she has only been here for 2 quarters, she already feels like Principia is home to her.
When I visited and as I did my research for the college, it really seemed the most comfortable fit and the best fit for me. I didn't really enjoy my visit to the Claremont colleges, and it was really the only place that I was excited about going to school.
Coming from the upper school and being raised in Christian Science her whole life, naturally, God plays a big role in her life. To be a successful athlete at college, you need to be able to balance your life with academics, social activities, practices, games, and also with religious study.
It plays a big role in athletics for me, and especially this year, it started playing a much bigger role even. I've started just the mental preparation for games and for the team has become a much bigger part of my life.
Athletes strive to be physically prepared for every single contest. But in college, what separates good athletes from great athletes is the mental preparation. For PCTV News, this is Josh Reisman. The tennis season has already kicked off. The Panther men and women hosted their annual tournament over the past 2 weekends. During 8th weekend, the women took the court. The Panthers battled Truman State, the University of Missouri State, and nationally ranked Washington University throughout Friday and Saturday. To guarantee each player plenty of competition, each woman was promised 3 singles matches and 3 doubles matches. Senior and co-captain Jess Campbell feels that the women have a deep and experienced team that works hard throughout the entire year. The women are looking for another conference title this spring. Both the men and women teams have a packed schedule until the SLIAC tournament, which takes place April 21st and 22nd. All of the team's matches are at home this year, which is a very unusual occurrence. So make sure you come out and support both the men and women throughout the spring.
Thanks, Josh. There will be a strange void around campus shortly. For those who know her, Academic Dean Dr. Elaine Follis will be greatly missed. I had the chance to sit down with Dr. Follis to learn about the dean's 32-year career at Principia and find out where she is headed. After 32 years of hard, dedicated work, Dr. Elaine Follis will be leaving Principia. As academic dean, Dr. Follis had initially never thought of herself as an academic administrator. When she was elected as associate dean, Dr. Follis says that she was actually quite shy, and it was a stretch for her to become involved with her colleagues.
But over time, I learned how more and more to reach out and show my caring for my colleagues, and I've really been blessed by doing that.
Not only has Dr. Follis been blessed by her colleagues, she says Principia has allowed for a tremendous amount of growth in her Christian Science practice.
And that's what I found at Principia, real, concrete, tangible insights that have edified my life and helped me to help others.
Dr. Follis hopes for this same growth and experience in the new dean, Dr. Faith Paul, who Dr. Follis says has excellent credentials and experience. She says that Dr. Paul is exactly what God intended to send to the Prin community. Now backtracking 32 years prior, a huge change in the community that Dr. Follis has noticed is the number of students, which was reaching 900 at the time, and the social life on campus. She credits technology and the culture as the main reasons for change.
The internet has opened up people's dialogues with the world and with their friends off campus and even halfway around the world in an interesting way.
The problems with this change for Dr. Follis is that there's less time for private reflection. And although she will be gone working as a full-time practitioner in Massachusetts, Dr. Follis leaves us with this.
My time in this community is at an end, but I'll always think about Prin, and I know I'll keep it in my prayers daily.
This has been Jessie Sanders for Pilot News.
Certainly we're lucky to have Dr. Follis on campus all these years.
Yeah. That's all for this week, and thank you for tuning in this quarter. Join us again next quarter to hear the latest updates. For David Bates, Josh Reisman, Myrna Peters, and the rest of the PCTV News team, this is Jessie Sanders. Have a great spring break. Good day, everyone.